I hope you had your coffees. Hope you had your Red Bulls. No better way to start your week than 8:30 p.m. local puck drop. That's right, people. As the Edmonton Oilers look to close out their 4-game roadie with a meeting, the final one this season between the Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. But you know what it is. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant, and is a presentation of Bet365, because you know it, people. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I'm joined by my main man, Matthew Wozniak. Let me tell you, it was tough sledding trying to sell somebody on this pre- and post-game show. Woz, we did make a deal. You don't have to do pre-gaming. You don't have to do post-gaming later tonight. That one's just going to be a Brett and Bordzy show, but I appreciate you. I ran down to the office today, looked you dead in the face, and said, Woz, need to call in a favor right now, brother. I need you on pre-gaming. And, of course, you said yes because you're my main man, Woz. How we doing, buddy?
I'm feeling great. I'm excited for some Edmonton Oilers hockey at a very late start time because for whatever reason in California, I mean, I get it. In California, 7:30 start time. It kind of makes sense for them. You know, it gives them plenty of time to get back from work. Traffic's a pain in the butt in California, especially in LA, Anaheim. I get it, but it's annoying for us here in Edmonton, over on the East Coast. Hell, we have friends in Newfoundland or what's 10:30 p.m. watching this game. Let's give me midnight by the time it's over.
Mainlander Tim in the chat at this very moment right now.
I'm thinking about you, buddy.
Very, very late out there for him, but we appreciate all you. Throw down your likes, throw down, and make sure you are subscribed. But let's get caught up in the chat. You know you're starting your week off well when Austin's back. He's the first one in the chat. He says, let's fire up the fucking band, Bordzy. Rowdy Roddy, I like that one, is going to shut the door on the Ducks tonight. My ON fam, let's get fired up. Get the likes up in here. Chill your beer, and let's have a night. Connor Brown's in, and he says, Merry Clinchmas. That's right. The Edmonton Oilers victory in any means necessary, and a Calgary Flames loss to the San Jose Sharks in regulation. The Edmonton Oilers will clinch a spot in the NHL playoffs. But hey, you got to get it done first. Bob Stoffer's in, says another 11:30 start where he is from. Oh, well, what can you do but lose sleep? Fire us up, Bordzy. Let's go. Sasky's in. Bordzy, you know the drill. Fire me up. Cut you. People, you know, regardless of the hour of the night, I will always be fired up. I will always bring the energy. Bella's in, says Ollie game. Let's go. She also points out that also happy National Beer Day to all those who celebrate. Was we both just said it's National Something Day every single day of the week. However, National Beer Day, I will not complain. Cheers to all those who celebrate, and cheers to all those who drink a nation beer every day lager. Iron Dukes in, says cup year. Chris Knobloch says, guys, I got this. And then another one in here. Sasky said, Chris, are you lacing up tonight because we appear to be short some skaters? That's right. The Edmonton Oilers expected to go 11-6 in this hockey game. Now, I asked you, there's a look at the lineup there on your screen. There's a gaping hole there in the bottom left wing spot. I think it's going to be the RNH show in this game. We'll get into it later with Bordzy's bankroll. Now, before hockey talk, just because I didn't even ask any questions after I asked the first time to you, I was like, is there anything going on in your life recently that's going on you want to talk about before we get into the Oilers talk? Because I don't know if you noticed, people, there's only a couple games left. Not totally playing for a ton here in Oilers land. Yes, the 2 seed is still technically available, but it feels pretty locked in. They're going to be in the 3 seed. So these next couple pre and post games, we're just going to be hanging out, talking some stuff. But what was the thing that you said when I asked you what's new in your life these days?
There's not much going on. I went on a bit of a stroll yesterday around my neighborhood, get those steps in, and I walked past a man with a snake around his shoulders, and it kind of frightened me. I was while approaching him, I'm like, that's a weird looking scarf. There's no way that's a snake. And then I walk right beside him. I look to my left, and the tongue of the snake comes on. I'm like, oh my God, that's a snake. And it was a large boa just wrapped around his stomach. Brother, I mean, you obviously know you're handling that. Be safe. There's a 7-Eleven right there. If you walk in there, I think they're going to have some questions for you.
Yeah, I can say I've never seen that in Sherwood Park before.
Crazy.
That would be a first for me as well. But yeah, I don't know. My brother is deathly afraid of snakes, and it's from a lot of childhood trauma. Long story short, one time we went to Thailand and at a snake farm. They will fuck with you, those people. They are hilarious.
Yeah,
In a way.
apparently on the south side of Edmonton, there is a man who is known for walking his turtle. So that is known. My dad has seen him at the pet store. He's got a turtle, tortoise.
There you go. Once again, have never seen that in Sherwood Park before, but I digress. Either way, was the Edmonton Oilers on Saturday. It was a very hyped up game. We had that one circled for weeks. Honestly, had that one circled for months, and there's no better way to describe it than straight ass. It was also boring as absolute shit, if you ask me personally. No, it was a great sports weekend after that game went down. I don't know if you've been keeping up with March Madness, but there hasn't been much madness for all of the tournament. While Duke blowing a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left Saturday night, that was pretty madness-esque, if you ask me. And then was Sunday morning, because, of course, were you up bright and early to watch it, Alexander?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Yeah. This is the one thing I was looking forward to.
Yeah, exactly. I can't say I've ever been up at 10:30 a.m. to tune in to a New York Islanders home broadcast, but you're damn right I did, and then he does it. Of course he does. Ovi scores 895 career goals with Wayne Gretzky in the house. It was pretty sick. No one ever expected the record to be broken. I think the thing that keeps getting glossed over that I keep reading, if Alexander Ovechkin broke that record in the exact same amount of games in the modern day NHL, that is batshit crazy to me because goalies these days much better than back in the day. I don't want to get any generational arguments here, but I think we can all kind of agree with that one. But that's nuts to me. The dude's season in general this year, it's been absolutely nuts. 39 years old, 42 goals, has missed 16 games because he fractured part of his leg. I also like that you can say broke his leg because there's different degrees of fractures. You can make it sound way more badass. But either way, it's pretty incredible. I was talking to you before. I said, I've always been a Sidney Crosby guy. And I'll be frank with you. If you put truth serum in me, I was an Alexander Ovechkin hater for much of my adolescence. I was totally Team Sid, anti-Russia, the whole whatever you needed to do to hate on Alexander Ovechkin. But it has been insane to watch. Did you tune in on Sunday? It was pretty excellent. And no better celebration from Alexander Ovechkin than diving face first. I know you play Chell. That's always my celebration when you score in Chell. Just face first, two hands. What did you watch or what did you think of the moment?
I thought it was perfect. The goal was vintage Ovechkin. The celebration was very Ovi, where it was just pure emotion. He's like a kid. He's having fun whenever he's on the ice and scoring goals. And that's what I love about Ovechkin is the personality he shows. He's a little bit unique compared to other players. He's not a robot. You know, a couple of years ago, he did that interview about when Don Cherry criticized his celebrations, and he's like, I like to have fun. You know, I'm not a robot. I don't celebrate like this. You know, he's just great for the game. And seeing Gretzky in the crowd there and shaking his hand, that was epic. It was historic, and that's why I wanted to witness it. It's one of those things you only see once in a lifetime, once in a generation. And the fact is, when Wayne Gretzky broke Gordie Howe's record, Alex Ovechkin was only 13 years old. So we don't even know. I don't think anyone in the current day NHL is going to break that record. It's probably some kid right now playing in the Brick tournament this upcoming summer. That's probably how it is. So, and I honestly got a little emotional watching it just because of his family. Just seeing his family being there for him. It's one of those moments where you kind of picture yourself whoa, this is awesome.
It's as we get older, in our older age, I am approaching 30 now. It's stuff like that you start to appreciate it, that we've watched every step of Ovi's career.
Exactly.
We've seen all 895 of those goals. And once again, a record not anyone really thought would ever be broken. Once again, there's some freezing cold takes Hall of Fame. I always think of the one of John Scott, and he was saying he'd never score 30 or 40 again. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
All the dude has done is just shit out goals since that moment. But hey, I have bad takes as well, but shout out to Ovi. Also, he's the most Ovi. He's just a physical specimen. If you ever look up photos of him, it was this summer, the past one, he's playing pickleball. The dude's just so wide. Does not look like a professional athlete at all. Who gives a shit? He's gassing beers. He was doing it after Friday's game when he scored 2 goals against the Hawks. Then he was gassing beers again Sunday after the Islanders game. That's a man after my own heart, absolutely. And I'm sure he would enjoy.
He was like you in Vegas.
Yeah, well, someone tells me that me and Ovi would get along very well if we were both in Sin City together. I think we share a lot of the same hobbies.
I think so.
As well. But As for the Edmonton Oilers, it's game 77 of the NHL season tonight. Can you believe that? 77.
Yeah.
It was like just yesterday. We lost game 7 of the NHL playoffs. Sorry, I
You'll
even had
talk
to
about
bring
that.
that up
Didn't
right
happen.
there.
Didn't happen.
Kind of backed myself into a corner, but there's only 9 days left in the season, which is actually crazy. The Oilers' last game is next week on Wednesday, and the playoff picture here is starting to become clearer and clearer. The Edmonton Oilers, as we mentioned, seem quite destined for the 3 seed here in the Pacific Division. There you get a look at the current standings coming into this evening. The Oilers 4 points back of the LA Kings, each with 76 games played. They are 9 back of the Vegas Golden Knights. That dream is definitely over. Now, the 1 seed still technically is up for grabs between the Vegas Golden Knights and the LA Kings. But if you look at Vegas's remaining schedule and the lead that they have, I don't see it happening anytime soon. But once again, I have been wrong before. It was a very, very disappointing game on Saturday for the Oilers when they took on the LA Kings. 3-0 shutout, boring as shit, as I mentioned. But it did kind of feel like to me there wasn't, like, I couldn't be that mad about it, and I couldn't really take that much out of that hockey game. It was a skeleton crew of a lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. I've been very good at loser talk lately, but I got a laundry list of reasons why they lost that one. You look at the injury report, it is insane for the Oilers. They also brought in Trent Frederic. He gets hurt. More on that in just a minute, but I mean, more now than ever was. It's kind of my mentality, and I do think that's why one Olivier Rodrigue is going to be starting in this game. Everyone's kind of accepted here that home ice probably not going to be a thing for the Edmonton Oilers. Once again, still knocking on wood, but this season, now more than ever, is all about health being a priority and just being healthy for game number 1. But thoughts on Saturday's game and kind of the home ice dream being DOA?
Yeah, the game against LA was a bit of a chess match, pretty boring as those games against Edmonton and LA go, especially in the regular season, I find. But, without McDavid and Draisaitl, I thought the Oilers did somewhat well as up until the third period. The third period, I think they were just flat. I wish they kind of clawed themselves back. And I had some hope. They're down only 2-0. Like, there's still plenty of room here. 1 goal, you can get some momentum. You never know. Matthias Janmark, he can find the back of the net. You never know, right? Fingers crossed. But it wasn't meant to be, and unfortunately the Oilers they haven't really dug themselves a hole. They haven't because the injuries it's been a problem. It's you don't want to use that excuse, but right now, and when you're without your big guns like Matthias Ekholm, Draisaitl, McDavid, John Klingberg, it's tough.
Team has not been healthy. And speaking of healthy, I guess it poses the question that will Trent Frederic ever be healthy for the Edmonton Oilers? Because that was a real kick in the dick there on Saturday, I tell you, because he is now back on the shelf for the foreseeable future for the Edmonton Oilers. So he re-aggravated an ankle injury that's kept him out ever since the Oilers acquired him at the NHL trade deadline. That has been weeks. Navi used the words, and I quote, flared up when describing what happened on Frederic's very first shift of the game. His very first shift as an Edmonton Oiler, you could see it clearly. Something was up. He wasn't skating well. He went down the tunnel. Now, he did come back to the game. He did play 7-10, as you see here on your screen, in his return. Now, Nabi also added, and this one's a direct quote, an immediate return is not going to happen. So tonight was actually supposed to be Trent Frederic's debut. This was the date that everyone had circled. It was going to be April 7th, Monday, against the Anaheim Ducks. Now, you can argue about it. Whatever. Did he rush back from injury because there's no 97, no 29 by 2 days earlier? I don't know. Who cares? Once again, I'm not bitching at the training staff or Frederic. If he looks at the staff and says, I'm ready to go, you're going to believe the guy. And heading into Saturday, home ice still was a dream. Now, either way, this just fucking sucks, dude. This just blows. This is quite the shot to the Edmonton Oilers. And I don't want to use the words like it feels like a complete whiff, because it's not, because you will get him back for the NHL playoffs. But I'll say it feels like a whiff from Stan Bowman at the NHL trade deadline. Remember, they had to give up assets for double retention to acquire Trent Frederic, who is a UFA at the end of the season. Once again, hindsight is totally 2020. It's that classic Step Brothers line where it's like, maybe trading for a guy with a high ankle sprain who you have no clue about when he's going to come back. Maybe maybe trading for him now is a little bit fucked up, but once again, hindsight is 2020. High ankle sprains, they're tough because they linger, they re-aggravate. I hate LeBron James, but he always says, he has a line of, sometimes you'd rather just straight up break the bone, fracture the bone, because that's a simple fix. Well, with high ankle sprains, there's tendons in there. They linger. They take more time to heal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That was all very bad news. Now, good news was he looked awesome in his Oilers debut. It was, once again, only 7 minutes and 10 seconds, but he was everything that he was advertised to me as, right? He's a big dude with a nose for the net who didn't really seem scared to stir up some shit in front of the net. The first period, he had 4 shifts. 2 of them ended in scrums. I loved watching him grab the smaller Kevin Fiala and just straight up bullying the dude, being like, what the hell are you going to do about it? The unfortunate part is that we're probably not going to get to see him stir some shit up until the NHL playoffs now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and the Oilers did take a little bit of a gamble acquiring him. He got injured on February 25th, and I believe the Oilers acquired him around March 4th. So they knew that he was hurt, and they just got like, oh, he's going to be back in a couple weeks. He'll be fine. He'll have no setbacks. And now here we are, and like you said, high ankle sprains or any type of ankle injury, it can be tricky to heal. It takes time more than anything, and it takes – you can feel fine. You say, hey, I'm good to go. My ankle feels great. I haven't had any issues. It takes one tap to just re-aggravate it. They are very annoying. And, yeah, we likely won't see Frederic until the playoffs, and he still can be an impact player. Like, he only played 7 minutes and 10 seconds, but I really enjoyed those 7 minutes and 10 seconds. He was getting in those scrums, especially with Mikey Anderson, who can be a bit of a pest. So, Frederic, he was physical, and I thought he might have got an assist there, but unfortunately he just didn't play enough. But yeah, it's definitely been a gamble for the Oilers, and they're definitely losing it.
Yeah, it's once again, it's all about getting the dance. You just get a ticket to the dance, and then with that team that you're going to roster, there's no way to say it. Mackay and Dry said it very well here. It was a kick in the Freddick as well. So, yeah, that one's pretty good. Jeff Skinner says, we'll be fine once we get John Klingberg back. Absolutely, Jeffrey Scotty Skinner. He's out with an infection, I guess that's the wording. Rusty said the Edmonton Oilers are going to steamroll their way through the playoffs when they're healthy. K. Waddy said 7 minutes, -2, re-injured. Yeah, that kind of sucked, but he's a big dude, Trent Frederic. I also said that dude looks like he's 12 years old. Like he's got a baby face that resembles the Nuge, but he is a big man, and because of the injury to Trent Frederic, the Oilers are forced to go 11-6 tonight. No, not 11-7, 11-6. You did hear me right. Down a man, as you see here on your screen, noted by our own Jason Gregor. With Frederic out, the Oilers might only have 17 skaters. They don't have cap space to recall anyone, and they have to play one game with 17 skaters before they can use the emergency recall roster spot. Only other option would be to dress Draisaitl or McDavid. Why risk that? Later on in the day, Gregor did clarify they could also retroactively LTIR John Klingberg to do that, as he's dealing with an infection, was the wording. I don't know. Either way, it's the final game of a road trip here on your Western Conference road swing, Pacific swing. You're just going to go with what you have. You play the cards that you have been dealt, but I'm expecting a lot of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins tonight if you're telling me that they're going 11-6. When you do look at the alignment, it has Kasperi Kapanen as a fourth-line center, but Brad had a good line here before we were looking through the roster, and he goes, wow, Victor Arvidsson is our most lethal scoring threat on this team. I mean, it should be Zach Hyman, but right now it's definitely Victor Arvidsson without a doubt, and you don't feel totally great about that. But my expectations, we see a shit ton of RNH on the ice tonight. I'm expecting him and Rico to be getting double shifted as well. And as for an update, you see it there on your screen. Connor McDavid did skate on the fourth line with Kasperi Kapanen and Max Jones at practice, while Leon Draisaitl, he took some rushes, some reps there with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Victor Arvidsson. As for the other plethora of injured Edmonton Oilers on the team, still don't got an update on Matthias Ekholm. John Klingberg, as I mentioned, is out with an infection, but the Oilers did get some good news today. Stuart Skinner did get back on the ice today in full gear. It's reported he could be playing later this week at home, as our own Jason Gregor notes there, but any way you slice it, it's dark times injury-wise right now for the Edmonton Oilers. So bad, so against the cap, that they are literally playing a man short in this hockey game.
Yeah, it's pretty strange to see. This hasn't happened often to the Oilers. Thankfully, they've had pretty good health luck in the last number of years. And this past month, they've been dealing with injuries all throughout the lineup. The goalies, defense, forwards, the big guns. It's been fun to kind of watch them face this adversity and kind of go through these motions where it's like, they're not really underperforming. They've just been lacking the manpower that, we're used to seeing them at full strength even before the playoffs. They usually are cooking before the playoffs. And this time around, it's kind of just saying who's ready for the playoffs. This feels like preseason for the postseason, oddly enough, with the way you look at that roster and giving RNH all these minutes, Arvidsson, Podkolzin, Jeff Skinner. I see it as an opportunity for some of these guys, and to go 11-6, probably no better opponent than the Anaheim Ducks. They're a young squad. They're gonna be looking to win, but you can't take them lightly. But for the Oilers, they've got the veteran presence to really put them to bed.
Them's dangerous words there, Mackay and Dry. As a man who has jinxed this team plenty of times on this pregame show, hey, it happens. Corey Perry had a good interview earlier today, and he said, there are no easy games in the NHL. Get that bullshit out of here. It's the Anaheim Ducks. Sure, they still get paid millions of dollars. They're still in the NHL. Mainlander Tim, good point here. Now you got me second guessing everything. Says, don't double shift RNH with the injury bug lurking around this team. I don't even want to begin to think about what life would be like without Ryan Nugent-Hopkins right now being a staple for this Edmonton Oilers team throughout what has been a tumultuous post-Four Nations break. And then my boy snatches in and he says, Rodrigue getting the shutout. We don't need 18 skaters. Absolutely. That's the energy I'm looking for because, yes, Stuart Skinner might return later this week, but tonight it's all about Olivier Rodrigue getting his first ever NHL start. So Rodrigue, he was drafted 62nd overall in the 2018 NHL entry draft. So he's waited a hot minute to get his first NHL start. He is now 24 years old. Over the past 5 years, he's played 15 ECHL games, 130 AHL games. He went overseas during COVID as well to keep batting as well. This will be his second NHL appearance because he did play in the third period against the Seattle Kraken. I think it was March 27th there. Stopped 7 of 8 in that third period. But either way, it's going to be a big one here for the 24-year-old. His whole family is going to be in town for this one. He mentioned it earlier in his interview. And we've known a lot about Olivier Rodrigue for a lot of years now, right? He's been a staple in Bakersfield. He was Skinner's backup for 2 years. He's been Pickett's backup. He was Jack Campbell's backup. There's a trip down memory lane as well. The 2 years previous to this one, he had a .916 and a .912. Weirdly enough, he's got an .899 save percentage in the AHL this season. Well, as you never know how many starts a dude is going to get in the NHL, so I'm stoked that his whole family is there. Good for him. It is the Ducks. They're not the most prolific offensive team, but they do have some skill. They've got some talent. My hope and my wish here is that the Oilers, they play hard for their rookie goaltender in front of them and don't give the Ducks anything easy. But was first NHL start for Olivier Rodrigue.
Yeah, if they play anyway like they play in front of Calvin Pickard, I think they will be fine. And, to Olivier Rodrigue, it's a long road, a long journey to become an NHL goalie, especially for when you're selected in later rounds, right? It's not like, NHL players, defensemen, forwards, they kind of take a year or two to develop, depending if you're a first or second round pick. For goalies, it can take a while, and it's nice to see him getting rewarded for the fruits of his labor, right? And it's just a good story, and hopefully the Oilers can play solid in front of him. Hopefully he can have a great game to remember. I'm thinking about, Ben Scrivens, 59 save shutout. He wasn't a rookie, but that was his first Oilers game, right? He was the first time he started with the Oilers. Probably won't happen, but Olivier Rodrigue, I'm very much looking forward to watching him play.
Yeah, I'm excited once again. Whole family going to be there. I'm sure he's pretty nervous. I also mentioned to you guys, I was shocked at how not great his English still was for being drafted in 2018. I was like, brother, I'm having a hard time understanding you. Maybe that was something about me. Either way, as long as he stops the puck, Olivier Rodrigue. Hope he has a good one here. Let's go to our need to know information, courtesy of our friends from Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn the sweet Will Hawk name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. For more information and to get your jerky on, head to willhawkbeefjerky.com. So this will be the final game between the Oilers and the Ducks this season. This will be the fourth and final one. Anaheim, they've already taken 2 of 3 meetings this year, which has been weird because the Oilers normally own the Anaheim Ducks. So the Ducks won 5-3 in their home, the Honda Center, back on December 29th. A couple days later, then the Edmonton Oilers defeated them 3-2 at home. I think that one was January 3rd. And then March 4th, the Ducks they waxed the Edmonton Oilers 6-2. So that one not very good. The Edmonton Oilers, they're 11-3 against the Ducks since the 21-22 NHL season. They outscored Anaheim 71-37 over that 14-game stretch. However, they have yet to score more than 3 goals in all 3 games so far this season. So is the tides turning? Are the tides turning? I don't know. Not feeling great about that with 97-29 on the shelf. The Oilers obviously going 11-6. We just talked about it. But those 6 defensemen, well, they're going to look a little different as well because Nabi has decided to change up the pairs. The top pair, Darnell Nurse with Jake Wallman now on the right side. Darnell has been leading this team in ice time for what feels like well over a month now. Here he's going to play with Jake Wallman. Once again, this is, I think, a nice move from Nabi. You're going to try pairs, everybody with everybody, because who knows what the health of Matthias Ekholm will be once we get to the NHL playoffs. The second pair, my boy Brett Kulak with Evan Bouchard, and then your third pair, Troy Stetcher with Ty Emberson. To me, that looks like a solid top 4. Also with the tattoo bet looming, love that Kulak is on second pair and Ty Emberson is on the third pair. It's also a revenge game for Maximum Jones, who will play his first game against his former team since being acquired from the Ducks at the NHL trade deadline. And then, of course, Olivier Rodrigue gets his first start, second appearance, as he has played against the Seattle Kraken. For the Ducks, their side of it, 33-35-8 record. They're 25th overall in the entire NHL, 4-5-1 in their last 10, and losers of their last 2 games. So they lost 4-1 to the Flames on Thursday, and then they got shellacked 6-2 by the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday night. Bert, if you want to pull up the head-to-head here between the Oilers and the Ducks, because these are the head-to-head graphics that I like to see and have been few and far between this season for the Oilers. So they're leading in every major statistical category. The Ducks, they rank 27th in the NHL in goals per game. They are dead last on the power play at 12.4%. Speaking of dead last, they're also dead last in the face-off dot as well this season. They're dead last in shots allowed as well at 31.9. They're 30th on the PK, 23rd in total goals allowed. So any way you slice that, that is not very good. Troy Terry, he leads the Ducks in points, 53 in 71 games. Terry, McTavish, Vetrano, Carlson all have 20 goals. Alex Killorn is at 18. Those are the only guys to hit in the 20-goal mark. And then lately, since March 1st, Leo Carlson kind of coming into his own. He's got 9 goals, 17 points since March 1st. Mason McTavish, he's been leading the way. He has 18 points. They also have some injuries. Jacob Trouba's out. John Gibson, obviously, out. Ross Johnson, Fabry, and McGinn, they're already on IR. So they got their own. Ducks are just waiting. Let's say their tee times are already booked. That's a nice polite way that you could say this. And then I do believe, last I checked, I was expecting Lucas Dostal to be the starter tonight for the Anaheim Ducks. 22-21-6 record on the season. 903 save percentage. And it looks like he is still confirmed. There we go, baby. So Lucas Dostal, who's played in every single game this season against the Oilers, once again, 2-1 record. Let's go now. Sherwood Ford, a Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Shout out to Sherwood Ford. Come on, they're the greatest spot, the most convenient stuff you could ever get done to your vehicle. So they've got their Nation Valet service going on right now. Free valet service for all Oilers Nation fans. You get your exclusive swag package. You know the drill. They'll come to your work. They'll come to your home. They'll pick up your vehicle. They'll go take it to the shop. They will service it. They will then bring it back to you because they're the best, because they are the giant for a reason. Was my storyline. Oh, nice. It's perfect timing. It's exactly what Bo just said. Happy Clinchmas. That is all that I got for a storyline in this game. It is Clinchmas. Happy to you and yours, to all those who celebrate, because the Oilers, as we mentioned earlier, can clinch a spot with a win, any means necessary, and as long as the Calgary Flames lose in regulation to the San Jose Sharks. It's not easy without 97-29. Was simply do not give a shit. Long list of excuses. Without all these guys, you have your goalie making his first ever NHL start, but I still believe my key to victory would be, I just read off to you all those numbers and where the Anaheim Ducks lack, and a lot of them would be defensively. They're 32nd in shots allowed, 30th on the PK. Fire from everywhere. Make it a shooting gallery. Move your feet. Try and draw some calls, and let's lock this one up. I said it like the last one this late against San Jose. Lock it up by 40. And maybe I can start the post-game show in the third period. Was you got a storyline? You got a key to victory for me?
I think the storyline will be Olivier Rodrigue. I think that's a bit of a cop-out, easy, but like we said, it's nice to see him get an NHL debut here. He's coming in for the Oilers in a tough situation. You know, he's not playing with McDavid and Draisaitl and Matthias Ekholm in front of him. This is a very, injured Edmonton Oilers team, just like those Anaheim Ducks. So Olivier Rodrigue, I hope he can have just a good game and get some confidence under his belt so the Oilers can also have some faith in him going down these next few games, even depending on how long Stuart Skinner's out.
I like Mackay and Dry says clinch greater than clench.
Yes.
Yeah. Mackay and Dry, you're kind of on fire today, so let's keep that rolling on the post-game show as well. Bo says play for Ollie. Show the big guns that they can trust this team to have their backs when they return. Build up the defensive game for the playoffs. Yes, make everything easy in front of your goaltender. That means Brett Kulak, I want you blocking a shit ton of pucks tonight. I'm not going to say what I want. We're not going to jinx it in any degree, but this tattoo bet, crunch the numbers on Wallman. It is dangerously close right now. Let's go take a peek at the Edmonton Oilers projected lineup this evening. Bert, pull it up for me here, brother, because the top line, Vasily Podkolzin with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Victor Arvidsson. Second line, Zach Hyman with Rico and Corey Perry. Your third line, Skinner, Janmark, and Brown, who have actually found some pretty good consistency. Janmark he cannot buy a goal. If he gave you $1 million, he still couldn't find a way to purchase a goal, but he's trying. He's trying very hard. He's heating up before the NHL playoffs. Your fourth line, Kasperi Kapanen with Max Jones, because as we know, the Oilers going 11-6. Your deep pairings once again, Nurse with Wallman, Kulak with Bush, Troy Stetcher with Ty Emberson. So Mainlander Tim has now gotten in my head thinking that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is going to be playing a lot of hockey in this hockey game, but I do see it. He's a spot. He can play on the wing. He can play center. Whatever you need him to do there on the fourth line, Nuge can get it done. We saw him carry this team week or two ago when both 97 and 29 were out of the lineup. I fully expect him to do it again. I crunched the numbers with his shots on goal bet. We'll give you those specifics in Bordzy's bankroll, but over 2.5 shots on goal for the Nuge right now on Bet365 is plus 145 for a measly 3 shots on goal plus 145. Would you be smashing that tonight on Bet365?
I'd have to, especially if the Edmonton Oilers get a few power play opportunities, and we know the Nuge can fire it. He's got a sneaky wrist shot, which I wish he would use a little bit more, but he tries to, find the right time and place for it. But yeah, it's a safe bet in my opinion.
Yeah, that's maybe a precursor to Bordzy's bankroll in here. Nuge also has, I guess, the worst odds you could say to get 1 point. Also like Nuge on the power play point as well, because as you mentioned, he rips the puck, but the Anaheim PK, dude, it is bad. It is not very good. And while the Oilers power play, it's been weird, right? Because at moments they have looked just awful without 97 and 29. I say specifically the entries into the zone where you're just like, wow, yeah, you can't just drop it back to 97 and literally watch him slice and dice, do his thing, stop up, throw it to Bush. How lucky are we that we get to watch that all the time? But weirdly enough, the Oilers, without those guys, have been productive. We've seen Jeff Skinner score, Arvidsson score, Adam Henrique has chipped in, Corey Perry's chipped in as well, but maybe Nuge can be the one to score with the man advantage tonight. The other guy, as Brett pointed out, which makes me laugh, but beggars cannot be choosers. Victor Arvidsson is without a doubt the most prolific scorer on the Edmonton Oilers roster right now. Zach Hyman had 50 last season, but that's not this year. And right now, Arvidsson has been on a tear. 3 goals in his last 4 games. Over that 4-game stretch, he has 17 shots on goal. He's hit at least 4 shots in each of his last 4 games. Also might be mentioned in Bordzy's bankroll, but that's just it was. I got that. RV over 2.5 shots. Liam has it in his game day bets. Tyler has it in his game day bets. Jay has it in his game day bets. And because of all that, that makes me terrified. So my question to you, does RV get 3 shots on goal tonight?
I'm going to have to go with that as well because he has a habit of getting a lot of shots on net, and he tends to fire from weird distances, like slap shots from the point that get through traffic, get on the goalie's rubber. So I can see it happening. And yeah, Arvidsson, like, I wanted to say, let's go RV, let's go party. So he's doing fantastic.
The RV, it takes a minute. It takes a minute to get started up. All right. It's an old engine in there, but once it gets going and it gets going in the NHL playoffs, the sky's the limit. He's been awesome. I feel like every clip we've made from either pre-gaming or post-gaming the last week is me just going, shit, dude, is it finally happened? Is Victor Arvidsson? Is the RV actually turning a corner here at this point in the season? Also, I did crunch some numbers. So, Brett, if you want to pull up the Tattoo Bet current standings right now, where we're at. So, once again, this is game 77 of the NHL season. There's not many left, 9 days left in the season. This is the lead that I've got over Brett and Ty Emberson in the block shots category. But Jake Wallman has also been added into this as a wrinkle, and I really, really regret agreeing to that one on the show. Very stupid of me because I crunched him earlier today. Jake Wallman, since joining the Edmonton Oilers, is at 32 blocked shots. He is 1 behind Ty Emberson, and with only a couple games left to go here in the regular season, we were joking that there isn't a whole heck of a lot to watch here for the end of the year. If the Oilers clinch tonight, and I hate to say this as a guy hosting pre and post, you'll hang out with me because we'll still play fun games and we'll do giveaways and stuff. Not a whole heck of a lot to be watching for, but that's why we created the tattoo bet, because no matter what, game 80, 81, 82, it's going to matter to me. It's going to matter to Brett, and this one is coming down to the wire. John Gillis says, is it a face tat? No, it is not a face tat. I'm not willing to ever do that one.
I don't know.
Just kidding. There he is. It's like he's almost in my head at all times. Also, Brett puts in here, I think we might deliver some tattoo ideas later on Oilers Nation After Dark, because as I mentioned, we got walls for pre-gaming between the Brett and Bordzy show late tonight for post-gaming. No parents, Brett. Oh my God, let's get nuts. It's going to be a late one. But yes, Lance says matching bro tattoos. I do feel like that's kind of where we're in the lead as well. Do you have a tattoo? You don't have a tattoo, right?
No, I probably won't get one because I don't know what to get. I don't know. I've never had the urge or like the want to have one. So it's not something for me.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly where I've been until you run your mouth on one of these shows and they back you into a corner and there's no way for you to get out of it. Let's go now. Starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood, Power Sports, and Marine. Come on, people. You know them. You love them. Motorcycle season's just around the corner. Boat season's right around the corner. I don't know if you want to get new ones or, hey, you got to spruce up your old ones here. It's springtime about to be. You got to get them serviced. You got to get them cleaned, and whatever you need to get done, Sure Power Sports and Marine can do that for you. They have a 70,000-liter test pool in the back of that building. Waz, you've swam in it. I've watched you swim in that before, and they do awesome work over there. Also, once again, any outdoor toys that you were thinking about, ATVs, quads, scooters, dirt bikes, motorbikes, side-by-sides, boats, they got it all, dude. It is quite the place, and also some of the best staff in the game. They're just so friendly. They also love talking puck. You go in there and you want to go talk about the Edmonton Oilers, those guys on the showroom, they'll talk your ear off. They'll let you know what they think about Chris Knobloch. They'll let you know what they think about Stuart Skinner in the heart of Sherwood Park. Shout out to Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. So as we covered, Olivier Rodrigue making his first ever NHL start tonight. I'm excited to see him. I was a little shocked the first time I saw him get in the net. Now, we were at Greta. I had a couple beers, but I was like, maybe it was just because he went in for, I think it was Calvin Pickard. But I was like, wow, he's
Yeah.
so much bigger than Calvin Pickard. He's got some size to him in the net as well. He's had good numbers the last 2 seasons in the AHL, 916, 912. This year, weirdly enough, it's been an 899. He talked about in his interview how he feels incredibly ready and that he kind of has been for years now, but the Oilers just haven't really had any injuries to their goaltenders at points. Said he's really excited, waited a long time for this moment, feels ready. Mentioned the journey once again, ECHL, AHL, overseas during COVID as well. The man wants it. The man finds a way. He said he never stopped believing. He had a quote, said, it's part of being a goalie. Through and through, 24 years old, making his first start. And then the coolest part is that his whole family's coming. His dad, his mom, his grandma, his cousins, his brothers. Fiance was another word I heard in there as well. So congrats to you, buddy. But Olivier Rodrigue looks very, very excited to get out there. I'm sure the nerves will be aplenty. But come on now, he's a pro and he's been a guy in the system for a long time. We're finally getting a peek at him. Remember weeks ago, we were at Greta just chanting, Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. The moment has come.
Yeah, and he's in the spot where a lot of his teammates are so experienced that I don't think he has to worry a lot. I think a lot of them will calm him down, and I think that's I used the word calm there. It's gonna be relaxing for him to just kind of focus on his game because he has teammates in front of him that can get the job done. These are players, very veteran team, thousands of games played. I think of Corey Perry. He's been in the league for 20 years. Olivier Rodrigue, what is he? Like 22. How old is he?
24.
24. Jeez. Okay. He's young. Damn. Okay. Well, best of luck to him, honestly. And it's going to be an exciting time for him and his family.
Well, they're all younger than us these days, brother. As we get up here, I'm almost 30. It's wild when you got to see it. And I know I'm saying that, and guys like Mainlander Tim are in here. They're saying, Bordzy, shut the hell up. Mainlander, I love you. I appreciate you. Also, Mainlander's been waiting for my buddies to get back in the chat because they got a little bit of a rivalry going in the chat. Mainlander, once again, the MVP of the nation vacation. That Speedo was unreal. Lucas Dostal, he's getting the start for the Ducks. Once again mentioned, he started all 3 games against the Oilers this year. 2-1-0 record. Stopped 20 of 23 on December 29th. I have it written here. 23 of 26 January 3rd. 33 of 35 on March 4th. He's got a career 890 save percentage against the Oilers, but this season he's been pretty good. And as I said earlier, the Oilers have yet to score more than 3 goals against. But anyway you slice it, brother, I don't care if there's no 97. I don't care if there's no 29. I don't care if he's got a 903 on the season as a whole. The Edmonton Oilers should be able to pump some rubber past Lucas Dostal tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree with you. He's a very good young goalie, but that should be no excuse. I know we've seen 97, 29 have been on the lineup for a bit, but the Anaheim Ducks are very beatable team. I know there's no easy teams in the NHL. For the Edmonton Oilers right now, this is a great opportunity to get 2 points and show the people, hey, let's try and blow them out. Let's get some confidence under our belt. We're not just a 2-man team, 3-man team, right? And I would love to see, this is a great moment for Matthias Janmark to get on the board. I feel like he's been due. Like he hasn't been playing the worst hockey. Like he's been working hard. He's been good on the forecheck. He's been digging for those pucks. He's just allergic to offense. He can't score a goal. He can't get an assist to save his life. But I feel like Matthias Janmark is due it, and this is a game for him to score.
He has been much better, dude. He's getting chances once again. He's got stone hands going on right now. He's allergic to goal scoring. I'm going through Bet365 goal scoring odds. Well, that's just it. You got to keep scrolling because Matthias Janmark he's got the lowest odds here, the highest odds, plus 1,200 to score a goal, tied with Ty Emberson, Troy Stetcher, and Brett Kulak. Brett Kulak's more likely to score a goal than fucking Matthias Janmark. Okay, that's all right, Bet365. Let's get that in order straight up first off. Now, other people, Braden says 24-year-old starting in net makes you boys look like the new old boys club. Hey, Sassy Girl Oil fan says rookie lap. Yeah, I got to keep it locked on socials if we will get a glimpse of that at any point because that'd be pretty cool for him as well. Other ones in here, Lance says Ollie Oilers, Ollie Oil. Coincidence? I think not. Sold as well, Lance. Future Vesna there for our boy as well. And Lance says I'll sprinkle on that as well. Also, is Lance's photo is him and Tyler in the pool together. So that is just fantastic. What are the odds on a Janmark Hattie? Not sure they even offer that one as well. but Janmark says, I'll score 3 goals this season. Let's go now to the away lineup, the Anaheim Ducks lineup, projected lineup, brought to you by Greta Bar, arcade, bar, street food, my favorite spot in the entire city. And as I mentioned, there's only 9 days left in the regular season. We're eyeing up, could be Saturday the 19th, could be 4/20 on the Sunday when the Edmonton Oilers open up the NHL playoffs. Who knows, people? We're going to be at Greta a ton for the NHL playoffs this run. Hopefully we get one just like last year, because some of my favorite memories have been made in that bar last year for that 2-month run. We've gone on nation vacations. I've gone on 3 of them to be exact. Nothing will ever compete to the vibes in Greta during that playoff run last year. Just every other night, just getting after it, doing pregame shows, postgame shows. I'm hosting the parties, giving so much stuff away. I cannot wait to get back there. Hopefully do less damage to my body than last year. Hopefully I'll be more prepared for this year. But either way, it's going to be a hell of a time. Bert, you want to pull it up for me? The projected Anaheim Ducks lineup. Well, we can show off that I've got a 5-block shot lead again. I got no problem taking a look at that one as well. But you see it here on your screen. Frank Vetrano with Ryan Strome and Troy Terry. Then it's Cutter Gauthier with Leo Carlson and Alex Killorn. Trevor Zegras with Mason McTavish and Sam Colangelo. You want to say that next one? Nikita Nestorenko.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at there. Like, holy, that's a fun name to say. That's my player to watch right there.
I'm saying Nikita Nestorenko,
yeah,
Isaac Lundestrom, and Brett Leeson. You go to your D pairings. Jackson Lacombe, that guy's a young stud, brother, with Radko Dudas, Pavel Minchikov with Drew Hillison, Oliver Shillington with Olin Zellweger. Well, you kind of just answered it for me there, but if I were to ask you, who would be your player to watch for this Anaheim Ducks? Could be forward group, could be decor, as well as I mentioned, Jackson Lacombe. That kid's going to be trouble in the Pacific Division for years to come, but who's your player to watch?
Yeah, eventually this Anaheim Ducks team should be trouble in the Pacific Division. They have a nice young core here with, Troy Terry's actually been in the league for a little while, but I'm going to go with Nikita Nestorenko, even though he's on the 4th line. That's just a fun name to watch. I don't know much about this kid, but you never know. They could be sneaky. And also, I think another one I'll just point out here is Sam Colangelo. These names are hard to pronounce, and I don't like that about the Anaheim Ducks. So, and I think we have Ben Gleason from Wish there and Brett Leeson. Just a mixed bag of names here on this Anaheim Ducks roster.
Yeah, for me, if I were to look here, when you look through the forward group, I'm going to say Leo Carlson, because he's a guy now, 2nd full season, right? I mentioned since March 1st, he's 2nd on the team in points, has 9 goals. These are the guys that at this point in the season, when you start to see them really take ownership of their team, they're really starting to round out their game. And this is when, if you play fantasy, keep your eyes on players like this, and you keep scouting for next season. Could be a sleeper later in your draft, but Leo Carlson kind of fits that exact bill to me, that exact MO. Obviously, Mason McTavish, he's a stud. They don't have, once again, the top-end talent of a 97, of a 29. Who does, is what I would argue with that one. But you look down the middle of their lineup, Strome, Carlson, Mason McTavish. They got some talent, some skill on every one of those wings as well. The Anaheim Ducks are not the pushover that you think they are. Once again, the Oilers have owned them previously, but this season has been a completely different story, and I don't think you can take them lightly. The other guy in the decor there, Jackson Lacombe, he had 3 points, and I believe was a +5 against the Edmonton Oilers the last time that these two teams met. He's averaging over 22 minutes a night. Forget how old he is, but it's incredibly young as well. One of the names you'll miss there on the decor. And I say thank you with the injury bug flying around for the Edmonton Oilers. Jacob Trouba will not be on the ice for this hockey game. So, boys, still keep your heads up, but you are less likely to get absolutely separated from the puck, because we all know Jacob Trouba, that guy likes to lay the body. I also saw Lance is in here, and he's talking about that we all made money in Vegas. Yes, we did. Well, you were up, brother. There's been a lot of people talking about you and your gambling that haven't been you on all these shows, ONE, Real Life Oilers Nation Radio. What I will say was absolute stud. We all know him. We all love him. The final night before we left, after the Oilers game, so Bordzy's bankroll went 3 for 3. I was feeling real good. I was feeling real liquid, you could say as well. And I'm playing roulette with Waz, and I lost so quickly, so fast. And everything I was doing, I would lose, and Waz would just win. And he'd just sit there with his cute, adorable smile, playing his chips together, just having so much fun. Waz was the king near the end of that trip. Waz, how'd you make out?
Pretty good. We were up. I spent a few of those shekels on the slot machine just because you're in Vegas. Let's have some fun. But then I said, you know what? Let's bring home some money, and we did. It was great. It paid off my credit card bill, which I used on some food and drinks in Vegas. So very happy. The roulette table is always fun. Bag Milk was asking me, "What's your strategy?" I'm like, "There's no strategy to roulette. You just place chips and you hope. It's all in the roulette. It spins around and you get a little lucky." And I was getting a little lucky. I was just spreading the table and having fun.
It's all about the vibes, man. You were radiating vibes at that table. I was like, man, this dude's hot right now. Like, I should just be doing whatever he's doing. Do not question it. Because once again with the roulette, you just know when you know. You know when you know. Me, my buddy Colton and Eli, we walked in, 100 each on black. Bang, that one hit. Just because you know when you know. You do so responsibly, of course. Come on now, only bet what you're willing to lose, as Waz said. And then it pays for your drinks, pays for some food in Vegas. It was a great time. Speaking of hitting the tables, a couple minutes left in the program. Let's go to Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365, because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner, every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. They're an official partner of the NHL. Download the app today. Use the code NATION to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. What we got here for the bankroll this evening, as you see on your screen, the first option, the one that everybody in Oilers Nation is riding with, at least everyone on the live shows, me, Liam, Jay, Tyler. We've all got Arvidsson over 2.5 shots on goal. He's hit this line in 4 straight games. Not only has he hit this line, he's had at least 4 shots on goal in each of his last 4 games, 17 total over that stretch. It's Arby's world. We're just living in it. We're just trying to profit off of it because maybe we haven't profited off Arby a whole heck of a lot this season. But if we can do it now, it all makes it worth it. The next one is what I'm all about tonight. The nude shot prop plus 145 for 3 shots on goal. And do we all remember when 97 and 29 were not in the lineup, when Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had 9 points in 4 games? Well, in those games, he had 4 shots, 3 shots, 5 shots, 4 shots. So there we go, hoping he continues that one as well. And then finally, I didn't just want to go all Nuge, so that's why I thought I'd spread the wealth. The quarterback of the power play, Evan Bouchard, to get 1+ power play point at plus 210. Anaheim has the 30th ranked penalty kill in the NHL. We know the puck runs through number 2, that quarterback, on the power play, so I'm hoping he can get one. He's also riding, was it a 3-game point streak right now? Something like that. Either way, Evan Bouchard, love him on the power play. Wazinho, which of these 3 bets do you like the most? Or please tell me you love them all equally.
I love them all equally, other than the Bouchard one, because I'm creating a parlay out of here. Well, it's true. But I'm swapping that one out for Jake Wallman to get a point. I don't remember the odds, but I'm just feeling lucky with him. Then I'm going to go with my favorite to be the plus 145 Nuge over 2.5 shots on goal. That sounds tasty. He'll do it.
Right? I mean, we've seen him put this team on his back previously. 2 weeks ago, he was doing that and carrying this hockey team. Lance is in here. He says easy money, but you know Lance, he's throwing Oilers money line on there as well, because that's what he does. And he does so responsibly. He does it only betting what he is willing to lose. Also, as it was just pointed out by Mackay and Dry, no super chats today for Ben. Ollie's got ballsies. Cup, yeah. Reminder, all your super chats are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, a cause super near, super dear to all of our hearts. Do amazing things for families dealing with cancer and cancer research as well. Wazzy Bear, I told you before today when I saw you at the office and I was going home, I gave you one piece of homework. Did you do that homework? I asked you for a parlay, and I'd like you to give it to me.
Yes, let me bring it up here because I saw your suggestions. I trust your knowledge of the game, And I'm going to go Victor Arvidsson, 3+ shots on goal with a Jake Wallman point, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to get 3+ shots on goal, going together for a +1,000 parlay, which I feel like should hit.
Say that again one more time.
So basically, it's Nuge, 3+ shots on goal, Arvidsson, 3+ shots on goal, and Wallman, 1+ point.
And that's +1,000.
Yeah.
That's damn good, brother, man. The Bouchard, the thing with Bet365 is you can't parlay the power play point.
Yes.
You have to parlay those first 2 picks with a Bouch regular point. But a Wallman regular point, who's on the first pairing tonight, and I expect to be playing a lot of minutes.
Bring down the 1.
Now, once again, I usually bet these all 3 separately, responsibly, and then I parlay them together with just a little bit less coin in there. But once again, do what you'd like to do as well. I see some people in the chats. Make the simple plays. Wait, there it is. Only bet what you can afford. Z. I love when you get that one. And also, reminder, people, give a shout out here to Odd Company Nation Beer, everyday logger. You know them, you love them. Had a couple on the weekend as well. You can pick them up 2 Odd Company locations in the Edmonton area, downtown location, or their Richie location, liquorconnect.com. Find out which local liquor stores be carrying these bad boys. Look at that can, looking glorious. Can't wait to be crushing these at playoff games and parties. It was very funny. One of my buddies came to our office earlier today, Dog Patch, the restaurant down below. And he sent me a Snapchat and he goes, man, you guys have Odd Company. It was either the Nation beer on tap or you have them in the building. And I was like, yeah, dude, you mean the building owned by Oilers Nation has Oilers Nation beer inside of it? Like, yeah, of course that's the thing. But you can get them anywhere and they make an Oilers game go down smoothly. Waz, final one for you. Score prediction, anytime goal score, what's going down?
4-3 Oilers. Anytime goal scorer will be Jeff Skinner.
Okay. I'm gonna say 5-3 for the Edmonton Oilers. Rodrigue allows 3. It'll be a sub 900 game in my prediction. Would love if it was the other thing and went absolutely swimmingly for the young man. And I will say Zach Hyman, anytime goal. I feel like this is one. You also mentioned before the show, Corey Perry feels very, very due for a goal. Feels like one of those Corey Perry revenge game as well. If you were looking to bet into that factor as well, take a peek here. What actually is Corey Perry? Plus 400 for an anytime goal on Bet365. That one interests me very much. And that'll do it for us, people. Pre-gaming with Bordzy. Reminder, Oilers Nation After Dark going down right after this game, maybe in the third period if this one's going a way that we hope it will go. Was unfortunately, this is all we get of you this evening. Thank you very much for pre-gaming with me for 1 hour this evening. Good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. Please let me know if that parlay smashes. Actually, I will know it smashes because I think I'm going to get a piece of that action as well. I love you. I love producer Brad behind the scenes, who will be joining me on Oilers Nation After Dark. And I love our sponsors, Sherwood Ford the Giant, Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, Greta Baryag, Bet365, Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Over and out, people. Good luck out there, and we will talk right after the hockey game. Peace out.